Hello everybody. We are going to be looking at the Kenwood radios that are being introduced in the Whitehorse area. There are a few basics to go over first. The battery gets inserted with the bevel end at a 45-degree angle towards the top of the radio, but under the belt clip. Push the bottom of the battery toward the radio until a click is heard. Push the locking lever down until it clicks into place. To remove the battery, pull up on the locking lever with your finger. Under that is the release button. Push down on this and the battery will unlatch. Pull the bottom of the battery away from the radio. Now, with the battery in the portable, let's turn it on. Using the knob in the top left corner of the unit, rotate it clockwise to power on and set the volume level. After turning it on, the radio will do a self-check and you will hear an audible tone when complete. Turning the same knob counterclockwise to the detent turns power off. Let's take a quick look at the other buttons and knobs on the radio. When looking at the top of the radio, below the power/volume button is an LED status light. The more rightward knob is the channel selector labeled 1 through 16. Below the numbering, you will notice an A-B switch. This is the keypad lockout. A is unlocked, B is locked. To the right of that is an orange emergency call button, which is to be pressed only in the case of immediate life-threatening emergencies to the responder. On the left side of the unit, there are 4 buttons. From the top, the blue button gets you in and out of the settings menu, which you won't need to do for these radios. The big black button is the push-to-talk button. Below that is home button number 1, which is unprogrammed at this time. Home button number 2 is used for a total comm/towers failure shortcut to interagency simplex. On the front of the unit is a D-pad, a keypad, and 4 other buttons under the display. Almost all of these are unprogrammed. The D-pad is used for scrolling through options. The button to the right of the D-pad with 2 dots becomes active when using MRS. The button below that with the list-looking symbol here is also active when using MRS. We will talk about that in a little bit. Optionally, there may be a tethered speaker microphone attached to the right side of your portable radio. On the left side of the handset, there is a large black push-to-talk button. On the front, there is an orange emergency button and a black unprogrammed button. On the top is an LED status light. Underneath is a port for external headphones. On the back of the headset, there is a spring-loaded clip for attaching the headset to clothing. When the speaker/microphone is plugged in, the push-to-talk button on the main unit will not work. Only the push-to-talk button on the Geek Mic will work. To attach the speaker microphone to your radio, the radio must be turned off. Insert bottom tab at a 45-degree angle into the hole under the contacts. Push the top towards the radio and use the set screw to lock it into the radio. To remove the speaker microphone, turn off the radio. Remove the set screw. Pull top lever away from radio and handset should release. For carrying the radio, use the belt clip that is attached to secure it to your uniform. At this time, there is no leather case. There are many new upgrades to the Kenwoods over the E.F. Johnsons. The Kenwoods are set up with 2 profiles. The old conventional MRS profile, which works much like the E.F. Johnsons, and the new digital trunking system. The digital trunking system automatically selects the strongest tower signal, which means we will no longer have to manually find the best tower. This is called Trunking Zone 1, and you use the up-down arrows on the D-pad on the front of the radio to select your zone. The radio and buttons work differently depending on the profile, so we will go over these separately. Digital trunking. When you are in Trunking Zone 1, all of the buttons on the front of the unit are unprogrammed except the D-pad. The channel selector knob is programmed to change your talk groups. It is pre-programmed with the talk groups of the 6 closest stations to Whitehorse. Channel 1 is obviously Whitehorse. Channel 2 is Marsh Lake. Channel 3, Carcross. Channel 4, Tagish. 5, Haines. 6, Teslin. And finally, 7 is Carmax. New talk groups include Summit and Attack Channel. As this is a true digital system, when wanting to speak on tech radio, you must depress the push to talk button and wait for a confirmation tone. 3 quick beeps. Only then will the radio be transmitting. If you hear nothing or a low tone, you are not transmitting. MRS/analog. The MRS system is roughly the same as the EF Johnson's. However, there is some simplifications for highway and a new YG tactical zone. For the MRS profile, when you wish to use your radio to talk on an EMS channel, you must first ensure you are on the correct zone, which are based on highways in the Yukon. Choose the closest tower or channel and finally select the proper talk group. Let's say you are on your way to Carmax, for example. Carmax is on the North Klondike Highway. This is now covered in the Klondike Zone, which runs from Fraser all the way up to Galena. Starting out, you must ensure that the keypad is not locked by flipping the keypad lockout switch to the A position. Turning it to B will lock the radio again. Next, using the multifunction arrow buttons, go up or down to find the highway you are on. Following that, you will need to choose a close tower to your location. These are all called channels. There will be times when you are able to connect to multiple towers. We will continue to use our Carmax scenario. Using the channel selector, rotate until you find your tower, in this case, LaBarge. If, after a short amount of time, you hear a single low tone and reg failed shows on your radio's display, you have not connected with a tower and you will need to find a closer tower. You may also see out of range on your radio's display, should you no longer have strong enough signal to transmit or receive. Once you have connected to a tower, you must decide who you would like to talk to. This portion refers to talk groups. If you are going towards Carmax and wish to talk to Carmax ambulance crew, you need to press the list button, which is the talk group select button, and then, using the arrow buttons, find EMS Carmax and press the list button again to lock in your selection. After which, you will hear a 3-tone beep indicating that you have now been set for that talk group. You may use any talk group that you need to on any zone and tower combination. That concludes this radio update. If you have any questions about the radios, please connect with your supervisor or the communications supervisor. The other radios that Yukon EMS uses are covered in separate videos. Thanks for watching.